A slight disclaimer before you begin listening to this podcast. After we were done recording, I looked down and realized that my mic was not plugged in. So our apologies that my side of the audio is not perfect, but we think you are going to really enjoy this podcast anyway.
Welcome to Cohesive Home Podcast episode 16. In today's episode, we're sharing what's happening in our homes lately. We also chat about why we're trying to embrace our imperfect homes, life in a little house and a rental, and encouragement for learning to love the home you have, even if it's not your dream home.
Cohesive Home is a podcast for families desiring an uncomplicated life. Looking for inspiration to create your unique family culture and values-driven home? Kate and Melissa, two best friends from opposite ends of the country, chat about all things parenthood, living simply, and crafting a happier home.
So Melissa and I tried to record last night and ran into a bunch of hiccups.
Yeah.
And then tonight, it almost didn't happen again.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real life, y'all. Real life.
No, it totally is. So my oldest daughter is sick right now and has been in bed most of the day, which is totally abnormal for her. And even up until we were about to record, I was like, I don't know if she's going to fall asleep. You know, she's pretty miserable.
And then I had a busy day, and then I had forgotten that we had soccer practice tonight, and so I was like, yeah, I can just record again tomorrow night, and and then I realized it's like 7:30 and we're eating dinner, and I'm like, oh no, we're supposed to be recording. Yes. We're still dealing with all of the stuff, getting the kids in bed and bathed and fed and reading and all of that.
all those things that you have to do with kids.
Yeah. So,
oh my goodness,
I'm tired though, man. Today kind of wore me out, but we're here. We're doing it.
I'm with you.
So kind of to get on the topic of our conversation today. Over the summer, I had the awesome, wonderful chance of going and visiting Kate in her very small house. It's the cutest thing ever, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, I feel like it probably got smaller because you put so many people in it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sure some of you listening are probably curious, kind of know how Kate and her family live in 675 square feet. So Kate, do you kind of want to share the scoop on that?
Yeah, it's so funny, Melissa, so your family was here, and we had, 9 people?
9.
In the house, which is just, it was just crazy. I don't know how we all found places for everyone, places for everyone to sleep. We got our kids to bed. I mean, it was a miracle.
It really was a miracle, but I never felt cramped. I will say that. I did not.
It was great. Yeah. If it was wintertime, might have been a different story.
True, we were outside a lot.
All right. But when you guys left, the house felt so much bigger. Probably because 5 people were gone.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Gave me new appreciation for my home. But otherwise, for the most part, we are loving the little house. Mm-hmm. It has been a great fit. We have an amazing neighborhood with just those awesome neighbors that, give you tomatoes and cook you dinner and do all sorts of wonderful things that I honestly didn't realize that people still did.
Yeah.
To have that kind of community. So we feel really lucky. We're still getting settled. And I've kind of talked to Melissa about this. I'm fairly minimalist, but I'm sorry. I still have too much stuff for this house, and I'm not getting rid of anything else.
No. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. It's like, I mean, yeah, you have to be comfortable with the amount of things that you own. And if you're comfortable with that, which I still want stuff. I'll admit it. I want stuff. I'm going to buy stuff. And I'm going to buy stuff when I own a new house.
Melissa loves stuff.
I mean, I don't want like a storage building out back with more stuff that I
Right.
need, but I want stuff. I want my house to look pretty.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am absolutely with you. And, we still have not found places for everything
Yeah. The
because we have
storage.
4 tiny closets.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now I'm realizing I need storage furniture, which is something
Yeah.
I hadn't needed in the past. But,
Yes.
I'm not going to feel guilty about that. I mean,
No.
there are things that we own that we love that I want to display. We have books and things that are still in boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not okay with getting rid of everything just so that I can have a completely perfect and simple home.
Right.
It's just not possible in 675 square feet. I am realizing
You're
that.
right, right. Well, we found that when we lived in Germany, they don't have closets there. They it's something to do with the square footage of the home. The closet, I don't know, like it adds something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. But anyway, yeah, so we had to buy like IKEA furniture that was storage, like more storage
Yeah.
for us. And we really didn't have that much because, we were just there for a year. So I get the not having enough storage.
Right.
Can you hear my kids in the background right now?
Yes.
Brandon's trying to put him to bed. So again, real life.
This is totally real life.
So sorry if you can hear them screaming in the background. But yeah, so I get it. I get the needing more storage.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I mean, you know, as it is with every home, it is a work in progress. It's not perfect. There are things that I would love to change. There's projects I still want to do and I'm too tired to do, but
Yeah.
that's just life. I mean, and we're grateful for this home and just the whole situation.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing is so like with Brandon and I situation, we have a rental and we've rented in the past, but they've been apartments. And it's just different when it's not an apartment and it's a home.
Right.
And I want to change so much about this house and I can't. I just have my hands
Yes.
tied. So my like sort of reply to that is I just don't do anything. Like there's no artwork on the walls. We have a flag. We have a French flag that is like hanging for the Bretonian flag. That's like it. Like we don't
Yes.
really we don't put our stamp on the house. Do you know what I mean?
Which is so hard because,
is.
you have kids and you have a life and you want your home to reflect
Yes.
all of that.
Yes, and that's what someone else told me. They're like, well, you need to, make your home yours. And I'm like, but I don't want to make it mine. So I'm a bit different because I know a lot of people would take a rental even. Like I have another friend who lives here in town and she has a rental and they have made that house the cutest little house and they treat it as their own. And
Right.
I wish so badly I could do that. It's probably just a personal flaw that I'm not able to cultivate that within my home, even if it is a rental. But yeah, we try. Instead of dwelling on the inside of the home, the things that we can't change, we really like
Right.
look outwards. We have great neighbors, and we have an awesome neighborhood. We're at a very prime location within our town, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, and I also feel like, when you're in a rental and you know that there is an end date in sight, right? I know
Yeah.
you're not planning to stay in that rental
Right.
long term.
Right.
And so you hate to, hang the family photos
Yeah.
and make it super personal when you know that you're going to be moving in 6 to 12 months.
Right. Well, and then also, growing up, my mom was never huge on decor. Like she had,
neither was my
yeah,
mom.
like okay, oh my gosh, we walked into your parents' house and I was like, hey, this looks like my mom's house. Like my parents decorate.
Yes.
It's just very sparse with the, with
Yes.
the decor. Now, my mom, I will say, as she's gotten older, she has definitely started to pick better pieces, but it's still very light. It's like there's not a lot.
Right.
So I tend, but then like my mother-in-law, she has great taste. She decorates it's her house. Like her house is
Yes.
like decor to the hilt. It is awesome. Like it looks so good.
Oklahoma chic.
It is. Yeah. It looks so good. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I don't even know. Anyway.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift. I was not given that. But anyway, so kind of veered off topic there, I think, a bit. But, so I think the main takeaway from that is I can't change my home, so I have to change my attitude about my home.
Yes.
And that is what I'm working on. I am a work in progress. Everyone listening.
Yes.
I'm admitting.
Well,
so
I have to tell you something, Melissa.
What, Kobe?
I have an obsession. I'm going to share it.
What? I'm getting a little worried.
I love beeswax candles. There, I said it.
How about that segue? We're going into beeswax, right. Beeswax candles. Okay, where did this come from and why?
Okay, so, we're talking about homes.
Okay, yes, this is good.
And yes. I have not had the motivation to, hang artwork on my walls or, do any major projects, but I can totally order candles on Amazon.
Like a boss.
I know. And have it delivered to my doorstep. This is not an ad for Amazon in any sort of way. God. But yeah, I'm sure I'm late to this trend. I would guess it probably was, all over the internet 10 years ago. I don't know.
What, just beeswax candles?
Yes. Yeah. I got a scented one called Well-Being, and I love it. And I don't know. I'm just...
Well, okay, so are these like the natural kind? Do they have like the yellow?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're raw.
Okay, so I have a great story to tell you.
Okay, please do.
So when we lived in Germany, I'd start many stories off because there's some good stories. But so
Melissa's still mentally in Germany.
I am. Oh man, some days I really am. So they had Christmas markets. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that, but they have these wonderful Christmas markets, and there's these, it's outside, and you've got these booths that sell things, and we walked through this one, and there's this guy, and he's selling beeswax candles, and
yes.
he ends up being very chatty because he knows English very well and spent some time in America, and he proceeds to tell us he thought we were super cool because we were American, and proceeds to tell us that he spent some time in Colorado and that he really likes smoking marijuana. My kids are standing there, right? My kids are standing there, and I'm like trying to change the subject. I'm like, yeah. Well, what else did you do in America other than this recreational drug?
More weed.
And I was just like, yeah. So, oh my gosh, I just realized I hope children aren't listening to this right now with their moms. Should I put a preface on this? Shoot.
We're so sorry.
So sorry if kids are listening right now. Okay. I can bleep out those words. But no,
right.
Okay, because then I was about to get to the really good part where I look up and one of the candles was in the shape of a phallic symbol. And I'm just like, it kept getting worse and worse. And I was like,
nothing says Merry Christmas like a ...
That's what I thought. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna pick. Ho ho ho. So
wow.
Yeah, we tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. We're like, oh, here's some glue vine. Let's go buy some of that. No, yeah. So
wow.
Anyway, that was my funny story.
Okay.
I hope other people thought it was funny.
So I will just continue buying my candles on Amazon.
Don't buy them from a German site.
Oh my goodness. But here's the thing. We have to all do what's right for our homes. So for my home, it's beeswax candles. For someone else, it might be perfectly decorated. To each their own. It is so easy to compare our homes to other people's. we don't need to do that.
Mm-mm.
You know?
No. Ding you, Pinterest.
Delete.
I know. I blame all of the comparison on Pinterest and Instagram.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, Melissa. And I think we'd have to start some kind of movement where we just agree to love the homes we've been given, whatever they are. If it's a house we own, it's a rental, or we live with family, whatever the situation is, let's just embrace it and love it and just accept where we are at in this phase of life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even if you have a home that you are so proud of and you love every aspect of it, I would bet money that you don't love every aspect of it. There's always going to be something that you want to change about your home that maybe it doesn't add up to someone else's home in your head, or a picture that you've seen in the way that you want it to look. There's always going to be progress in areas within your home, the physical shell of your home, that it's just going to be ongoing.
But, we have to also be realistic that our houses are imperfect, but our lives are as well. We can't control every aspect, no matter what those 10 easy step articles on websites will try and tell you. It's just, there's imperfection all around us, so let's just embrace it.
I agree. So bottom line today, let's create homes that reflect our values and our families. Embrace the imperfections and love the home that you're in.
Thank you so much for listening to Cohesive Home Podcast, episode 16. Don't forget to share our podcast on Instagram and leave us a review on iTunes. We'll see you next time.